Did you experience this as well? Once you started meditating, you were not able to feel any elevated emotions. You couldn't feel love, you couldn't feel joy or happiness. This is what I went through when I started to meditate with Dr. Joe Dispenza. I wasn't able to feel anything. And I think a lot of people experience this, and there's a very specific reason why we are so disconnected from our emotions and our feelings. And in this video, we want to talk about what this is and how we can change it so you can start to feel emotions and you can start to generate feelings that you want to have in your life.
If I would ever watch a YouTube video, this one would be very important for me, one of the most important videos, because here we will be talking about how to be in touch with your own feelings. And I'm talking about it because I used to be having this problem to be in touch with my own feelings. And I also, when I was coaching, I had clients and they never ever were telling me that they feel anything but good. And when we met with Raphael, I asked you, how are you feeling? And what was your answer?
I'm good.
Hey, he was good.
Feeling good.
He was good. And you probably also respond to people, oh, I'm good. And that's it. And for the brain and for the mind, it's absolutely fine, calming information.
And society also.
And society, because you want to deliver to society that you're good. You're good. And because you're walking, talking, and you're having clothes on and you ate your food. But underneath this is your true you, your true emotions. That's why I always asked another question. Okay, so you mean good? Like, how are you happy with the relationship which you're in? How are you doing? Like, is there anything you would like to do differently, right? And
you were also saying good is not a feeling. That was always your answer.
Yeah,
good is not a feeling. And it was really triggering me, because it was hard for me to describe what is behind that.
Yeah.
Like, I know I'm not really feeling bad, so I probably feel good.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
that was it. I couldn't go any deeper than this, and it really triggered me. It's like, what shall I say? I don't have anything else. This is how I'm feeling. That's it. And I just wanted to share a little story, because yesterday I saw this really sad video about a very old lady who was walking with her assistants, walking, with the wheels. And she fell face down into a paddle, and she was laying on top of that rollator, we call it in German. And a man saw her laying there face down into a water paddle, into a pothole. He stopped the car and he got out and he asked the lady, "Are you okay?" She's like, "Yeah." And he approached her and she said, "I'm just going to get up in a minute," but clearly she couldn't. So he helped her to get up. And as soon as she was standing halfway or sitting on this rollator, she immediately started to move and wanted to go again. He said, no, relax. I'm going to push you. I'll get you some water. But it was so important for her to still say, no, I'm good. I don't want to bother anyone. I'm
prove
fine.
to society, right?
And it's so sad that we can't, as a community, really communicate our feelings so we can really understand each other and support one another.
It is true. I always said to people, good is not a feeling, and I'm very strict about it, especially when I coached people. I am very strict about that. Also to my nephews, which are now teenagers, I say, good is not a feeling. I want to know exactly what is going on with you.
How about all right? I'm all right.
It's the same thing. Yeah, but and they know me, so they already know, they have to dig in themselves a little bit.
Yes.
And also me, I had such problems, and I had health problems and life problems in the past, because I was feeling good for everybody and for me, because, I was good because I had everything I needed. That's good. But you have to dig really deeper. And once you start to do Dr. Joe's meditations, you will feel unpleasantness. I did it for 7 years. I felt very unpleasant in meditations. I didn't have good meditations. I really couldn't tap into the good feelings. And I know it is caused by past trauma or past experiences, blah, blah, we all know, we all have the story. But when you sit with the feelings, when you are not anymore wanting to be good, but you want to be better and happier, and you want to be really happy, not only good just because you're good for society, it makes the magic. People ask me also in the comments, oh, you meditated 2,000 hours, so does it mean that now you're happier? No, it doesn't have to mean you're happier. You are starting to be, when you do the work, more in check with your feelings. You know when you walk somewhere and you don't feel good, good like comfortable, or something is bothering you about these people, and your intuition says, hey, leave and go away,
Yes.
and your bladder is now full and you have to go to the bathroom all of a sudden. That I noticed so many times in my life, and I overlooked these signals, and you will start to be more in the flow with life, because you will finally receive information which are buried under the good in your body. And I believe that also Raphael has opened up more because of this silly sentence: good is not a feeling. So once you will catch yourself asking somebody, how are you? I know it's a great phrase and we all care for everybody else to be good, so we want to receive the good, but it's not always showing the truth.
It really took me a while to start feeling things in my life, and for me meditation was the number one tool that really helped me to start to get in touch with that part of myself, because for me it was always kind of a neutralness. As I said, when I didn't feel bad, it meant I feel good, but I never could judge it as like, oh, I'm so happy, or I'm joyful, or I'm silly.
I'm frustrated,
I'm frustrated.
or angry.
Yeah, it was just, I couldn't name it, and it's really important that we are able to, because otherwise you just have no chance to even have a reference point of where am I right now and where do I want to go? How do I actually want to feel? And now I can see in a moment, wow, I feel frustrated. I don't want to feel frustrated. What can I do to change my state? And with doing the meditations, and especially the walking meditations, was very helpful for me. I could start to generate the feeling I want to feel. I could start to continuously tune into joy, 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 joy. There is a frequency of joy in the field that is all around us that we can connect to. And I just kept connecting to that. This was like the coordinate, until I started to feel something, and I could now associate, so this is what joy feels like. This is what love feels like. I could open my heart, and it is so important when you're on the spiritual path that we work with our emotions, because we think we should always feel only happy.
And I am very much in check with my emotions now, even though they are negative. I am in check with them, because anger is meant to create space in our life. For example, around us, we want to have space and we want to communicate it, and we use anger to express it. And it's all very good. Dr. Joe also says a lot, if your body gives you trouble, you are the master, but you can sit with the emotion and go through this river of change, and you can just go to the other side of that emotion. And it is true. And we are always like fluid beings, we are still flowing, and we are still receiving so much information which we are not even able to detect, but the body is still being carried in certain situations and certain energies, and then we can just normally like be in touch with us. And I think this is the main focus of this work, to be really truly in touch with you and your feelings, which are authentic. We were also trying, when we were starting to date with each other, and I said, I hate that, and you were like, don't say hate. And it was a much bigger problem for you that I'm saying that I hate something, even though
It immediately triggered something in me, because I associated with such a dark and destructive emotion.
Yeah.
But also people overuse it,
Yeah, they do.
Oh, I hate children. Oh, I hate this weather. We're overusing it, and it's not good for that either. But I was afraid of negative emotions. I was trying to shield me from anybody who is negative, from any negative experience, and from feeling anything negative myself. And I needed to also accept that it is a part of this human experience, and it is absolutely okay to feel these emotions. Because
it's good for you to feel these emotions.
Only once we open up for it and we are actually allowing it, then they can flow. They can do their thing that they need to do in the body. Otherwise, it's just stuck, and there is this. For me, it was always like this ball of pent up energy inside the gut that was just raging. all the negative emotions would just, you go there, you belong there. I don't want to know anything about you, go away. I want to be only happy in my life. And then we made the video about the 2,000 hours of meditation that we have done in our life so far. And people were thinking, wow, so they must be all the time happy then. They must be all the time super like floating in the air. No, meditation is a tool. It is a super helpful tool with which we can really discover and understand ourselves and also create things in our life, move into the direction we want to move in and be aware of it. But it is not, okay, if you meditate 1 hour a day, you will have the entire day not a single moment where you're not upset or angry at somebody or at something.
No, but also when you're healing and you feel that you have to be happy, otherwise it's not working, it's not true. Just observe if you're angry and you have autoimmune condition. For example, Gabor Mate talks about it a lot, that people who are having autoimmune condition are having very much also not expressed feelings in them. And when I see him, for example, also in interviews, I would be angry already about the people who he has as examples, but he has so much compassion in him. And once you overcome all these, I want to be only happy from now on forever, and I am not angry, and these people did something bad, and I'll not do that. If you overcome yourself, then you start to have so much compassion. You start to be relaxed in the heart, and that's what's making you relaxed in your life.
Yes.
And it's much more than happiness.
It is again a heart-centered emotion.
Yeah.
And I think that's the reason why Dr. Joe Dispenza says that he differentiates himself or sets himself apart from the positive thinking crowd, because he doesn't believe that. He doesn't believe that positive thinking is the answer for everything. And he says to us always on the retreats and on the podcasts that he also gets upset. But the question is just how long. And he learned to really immediately recognize, I am angry right now as the observer. And this is what the meditation does for me. I can immediately notice, Raphael, you're feeling angry now. Instead of being in that situation and becoming this animalistic person who's just reacting from this emotion. It's also important to say that a lot of people think that's just who I am. The feeling that you're experiencing is not who you are. It is a feeling, and we can put ourselves away from it and we can observe it. And then I can also say, Raphael, you are angry. You really would like to be angry. You would like to be angry much longer, but I know that this is not the answer, and I know how to change my energy. So I have to take a few breaths and give myself some grace and not react from the ego, but from the greater self, more consciously, and speak to that person who I'm triggered about, for example, in a more compassionate and conscious way.
Yeah, and we were also discussing about amygdala response when people do crazy things and they are not even aware that they are doing it. You were saying it's from the emotional intelligence book. I also started to observe, not very often, like once a year or I don't know, once 2 years, I don't know. And when I am about to have amygdala response, and I am sometimes when I'm in a safe space, I just let it be. I just let it happen. I don't self-correct because the energy has to go somewhere. The energy has to go outside, outside of my body and be transformed into something else. Why not? That's why we get so angry that we have to do something, break something even, that, we are just like letting it out of us. And
emotion, energy in motion. It's not energy in stagnation.
So we don't have to suffocate us with the bad emotions. We can just express it. And we already talked about the hate, and I said, I hate this, and for me it's done. I spat it out. It's out of my mouth. I said, I hate it. Of course, later I say, I have compassion for these people and that people, and my logic will explain me, you shouldn't have said that. But first feeling a few years ago was I hate it, and it was really good. I think it was very healthy that I was aware that I hate something which people are torturing animals or something. I hate that and the way they behave to each other and so on. But, now I know people are hurt and, all these logical reasons behind it. But it's good. We are still moving the energy. We are constantly, and if you say something bad or if you're angry or screaming, remember that during those moments, the energy is just moving out of your body. It's not staying in.
This is a little segue to this topic, but I think also different people experience emotions differently and behave to it differently.
Yeah.
Because I'm not really into astrology, but I was born in July. My element is water. Petra was born in December. Her element is fire. And we very much can recognize this, the way we are dealing with emotions. For Petra, she can have a strong emotion and intense, and it comes out and it's done.
Italian ancestors are there.
And for me,
Hungarian, Italian.
For me, it's very slow to get me to boil, but once I'm cooking for a while and it takes a while to cool down. But the fire is quick to ignite and quick to extinguish again. So maybe this is something that you could also look at. What is your element, and also have a little compassion with yourself. So if you're fire, for example, you're maybe somebody who just lets out the emotion and expresses it, and be fine with this as well. Understand, okay, this is my energy as well, and this is how I am going to deal with emotions in my life, and I have understanding for it. And different elements are behaving differently, right?
Yeah, of course you are also able then to detect, oh, the amygdala response is coming, or I'm angry, but I'm not gonna express it right now, but I know that I was angry and I have to do something for me to self-repair or self-regenerate, because it's there, the emotion. And I go through certain times when I have to be quiet, have to be polite or whatever, and I can't afford to do it right away. But I know that I was going through this and I'm aware. And it's enough sometimes to be aware that it's there and you're in check.
For me, it's helpful to really go for a walk, go out in nature and just
move the body.
Cool down the emotion this way. That's something that really helps me.
And I realized that lately I stopped even expressing my concerns or anger or whatever. I stopped communicating it to the closest people, because I started to understand that they will never change. It doesn't do anything if I want to discuss with them about how they are behaving towards me and all the analyzing, because once you get into the work a lot, you will start to analyze and you will start to play with that energy a lot. And now I understand that some people will just never change, and it gives me a certain level of calmness, and then I can also just live comfortably and just relax around them, and that's it. And I don't have to still communicate with my mother, hey mom, you did this.
It's still, you're still repeating the same things, but nothing ever changes. Nothing has a long-term result.
So then I pick myself first, and I say, hey, why do I have to bother and waste my energy for this so long conversations? And even I will then peeve my mom off or something, and no, I'll just keep it for myself and I'll work through it in myself. Sometimes it resolves.
Yeah, that's probably gonna create more change than asking the person to have a little different approach than what they're used to.
But I think also the phase where you are communicating and trying to communicate is also good for you, and also for us it was good, because we were kind of like getting to know us, getting to know you, me, I even got to know me, how I'm processing things and so on. So I believe that all the phases are good, and now I'm just trying to really give me grace and relax around these people who used to peeve me off.
And Petra and I were just this year going through a really big transformation about our approach to the spiritual practice and our work with it. We have been able to really be much more loving with ourselves, much more graceful. We have overall throughout the day much better energy than we did before, when we were really so strict at us and we were meditating every day. And then at some point it stopped. It was just, we couldn't do it anymore. And we wanted to figure out what's going on, and we wanted to get back into it. but we realized that we actually needed to change our relationship with the spiritual practice. So we created this online class that you can join as well. We have the RAC method in there. It's the release, allow, create, because before we can really start to create our future, manifest our future, we need to release this unconscious energy that keeps us stuck in this pressure of we have to be somewhere else right now, and I really need to manifest my future and what's going on, I should meditate more and all that. And then we need to allow also the things that we want to create into our life. We need to be able to make our nervous system feel safe and calm with where we are, so we can also allow something new into our life, and only then we go to the creation part.
And I know that, for example, when he talked about the release phase, you have to be aware of your emotions first, that they are there. It's like playing hide and seek with children, and you know that there is somebody behind the corner, and the game is spoiled because you already know they are there, and you won, you are first, you are winning, basically. So if you are aware of that emotions behind the corner, you already are winner. You already solved it because you know that the emotion is there. You don't have to bother with how am I going to get rid of it even. You just won already because you are just observer. You are the master of your body and of your life.
It is a 6-day process. It's videos like this, like we have today. Very simple, very short, very graspable. We also created some beautiful meditations. We recorded them, and they are all very short, under 15 minutes, and really powerful too.
The meditations in this course are foundation. You will realize some more things about you thanks to these meditations, and you will find out more compassion and gentleness towards you, especially in my fairytations and in his walking meditations, because I created these fairytations for you during this course, and I believe that they are so powerful because
Heart-opening.
yeah, I even enjoy them to do myself,
Yes.
so you might enjoy them too.
You can click the link in the description below. We currently have an early bird deal for people who are first, and we really look forward to see you there. Thank you so much for sharing this time with us today. If you would like to be a little bit more with us, we also have this video here for you next.